The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories because it makes them money. It gives them clickbait. And I don't work for them and I don't respond to them. My duty is to the American people. If there was anyone else involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, you can look at our record. We'll find them and we'll get them.
So according to Kash Patel, they are the most transparent FBI ever existed since the dawn of humanity. And, well, he wants to prove it with his words, with an interview. And he also has a couple of words to say about social media, because it seems that social media and clickbait and, the radicalization on social media is the problem. I'm not joking. This is a very fresh interview of this guy who, as I'm telling you, they are doing a disservice to themselves. Both Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, every time they appear in an interview, it is not good. But this is the first part of that interview, and this is what he has to say about, the dangers and the radicalization on social media. And I have two words to say about that.
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control, and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted at Congress in my testimony last week was, if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms, because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general.
So he says that that's where the kids, the children, the teens get radicalized. So he is talking about sites like Discord or Reddit, and he speaks in this murky way. There's corners of the deep web of the internet where these kids gather and have these chats, listening to malicious actors that try to manipulate them. But why don't you do something easier, right? There are actual influencers out there, like this Destiny or Hassan Piker, who are openly talking about violence against the fascists and the Nazis and all that stuff, and the Department of Justice doesn't do anything against them, doesn't investigate them, doesn't anything against them. So you say that, oh yeah, we must go hard against this, this dark corners of the internet where these kids are being radicalized, and you don't do anything about politicians, influencers, anybody with a public account, asking, go for them. I don't see them anywhere. So yes, it's like, he's saying that we should get more involved on social media. You don't need to get involved on social media like you have to, have agents in the field, because that is basically impossible. But what you can actually do, is to listen to the mouth of those who have millions of subscribers and are pushing people to do this kind of stuff. Maybe you can start with there, and maybe that could be something. That's why I tell you that it's like they open their mouth. Kash Patel opens his mouth, and it is so blatant, the contradictions, how he contradicts himself, what he says that he wants to achieve versus what he's doing and what the Department of Justice is doing. Well, no, this ain't it.
And so we have to get after that problem set, and I asked for Congress help in doing so. But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with leading the nationwide manhunt to find the perpetrators involved, of course we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved, and the investigation's still ongoing. But we...
by the way, you found... Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin only because you share the pictures online, and, well, the public could see who the guy was, and the father could identify him and hand him over. Although I'm still asking, that I made a video about all the plot holes, all the inconsistencies of the FBI's investigation. Why, if you want to identify somebody and it's so, urgent, and you put a bounty on his on any information leading to him, why don't you release the footage of him walking around? We're not saying that nothing beyond the screenshots that you posted, maybe 3 seconds before and after, and any of those screenshots, that would help greatly in identifying people, because you know that humans usually identify others by their faces. And if we could see the guy at least walking, we could have a better sense of their face, and you wouldn't have all the people around with their AI tools trying to enhance those lousy screenshots of video and try to, well, you want us to help you do your job? Well, it would be easier if you help us help you do your job releasing the footage, as in the rest of the footage that hasn't been released, as in this 180 camera that I mentioned in that video. That is the camera where you can see Robinson running with the rifle wrapped on black cloth. That camera should have captured Robinson in a prone position, shooting and getting up and running away. But we never got to see that footage. Why? I mean, there is literally nobody. There is nobody else in that footage. Literally nobody else in that footage that could be, compromised in any way. So why not release the whole thing? I mean, see the guy, it's very easy, in a prone position, shooting, standing up and running, instance later, and dropping to the grass as we saw him. To see if he's Robinson. And I also said that you could use all the cameras around the campus, that you see very high definition cameras, and you cannot imagine that you're gonna have them only on certain spots. You're gonna have the whole campus covered with those cameras, right? How come TMC get better views than that? I don't know. But he has more words to say.
It's still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency. We've produced more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold.
Yeah, I'm guessing that he's going to brag about that video of Epstein's cell that he released.
Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, so fast. The Boston Marathon bomber, which happened in downtown Boston during the Boston Marathon, took 5 days, and there was a police officer who was killed in that manhunt. Luigi Mangione, who allegedly murdered an individual, the CEO of the healthcare company, in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight, took 5 days to find him. Our investigation is very much ongoing. But we've also, Armstrong, in an unusual thing, put out publicly more information as to what we found, because it is of such public importance. The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they run with their crazy conspiracy theories.
Well, one thing that he is right, and yes, there have been a lot of crazy conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's assassination. I had to make something that I basically never do, talk about 2 videos of other content creators, because you sent me like hundreds of times. So I basically had to disprove, and I think that they themselves debunked their own observations, because they realized that it made no sense. But even so, we still have way more questions, as in, why is the boyfriend missing, laying low, nobody knows where he is. All we know is that he was very cooperative. Where are these, what is going on with the investigation of the very public fact there were so many people that knew what was going to happen on September 10, and they were bragging about that on social media. You're telling me that you can't find anything about, I don't know, the IPs of those people, the presence of those people on this court? You have to be careful. I mean, so much time has passed, and that is so easy to, let's say, pinpoint. You can even use AI to help you in that search, and I don't think that they're going to prosecute anyone else at this point. I think at this point that it's going to be only Tyler Robinson, and I'm eager to see Tyler Robinson's actual body language, as in the real deal, to see if this is for real or not. again, it seems that the DNA matches, but we have to still say allegedly.
Because it makes them money. It gives them clickbait. And I don't work for them, and I don't respond to them. My duty.
And if you don't work for them and you don't respond to them and they don't matter, why are you addressing them? Why are you addressing the people with the crazy conspiracy theories? There have been crazy conspiracy theories before social media existed. Before the internet existed, people liked. The only difference now is that right now it's easier to, present a case, quote unquote, or have questions or ask questions about what happened. That is the only difference. And yeah, I know that it can be uncomfortable, but as I told Utah's governor when I had that, that reaction during that live, you cannot say that social media is the problem, because social media has helped you, all of you, in these investigations, and you cannot say otherwise. So I think you should be more thankful, Mr. Patel. Have you say thank you once? I need that JD Vance meme with a button, and Vance just pops up. So this is the thing. No, the FBI has not been the most transparent. Maybe it's the most transparent, but if you are comparing yourself to the previous FBI's, I don't know. That is a bit pathetic. I don't know. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bar Language Guy. Much love and bliss.